Hello, thanks for tuning in. Stuart here, record collector. I've been out buying records today and I'm going to show them to you. But first of all, a lot of American viewers have been saying that based on the quality of records I'm showing you that I bought from charity shops, that in America your thrift stores are not as good as British charity shops. I don't know how far true that is. It may well be that if you live in a town or city of say 100,000 people, it may well be that in America, I don't know, that there may just be one or two thrift stores, and in a similar sized town or city in Britain, you can expect to find maybe a dozen charity shops or even more. So I don't know, I don't really know the thrift store scene out in America. Maybe some of you could enlighten me. But I've been out today and I've walked 18,000 steps and I've covered a lot of ground. In Britain, in a town, you can generally expect to find about 10 or 12 charity shops, fairly well close to each other. I've covered a lot of ground today because I've been in a city where the city centre doesn't seem to be too many charity shops, but you need to go to the outskirts or to the suburbs out of the city centre, and then you can start to find them in the trading areas, in the retail areas. Okay, so let's go through these records and just show you what I've bought. I'll try and show them in order of what I've actually bought. So first of all, this one. Here we've got Vivaldi box set on Argo. It's La Cetra Opus 9, and it's Iona Brown, soloist and conductor, Academy of St Martin in the Fields. And obviously I'm collecting Iona Brown records where she is a soloist. I'm quite interested. And I'm really happy to get that. 3 records, Argo, and everything looks like it's in fairly good condition. Let's have a look. We've got all the original Decca inner sleeves. So we've got 3 records. It's not a Dutch pressing. It is actually an English pressing with the green Argo label. There we are, so that you can see the label Argo. Right, and we've also, of course, the all-important booklet, which really knocks the shine off it. If you come across the set and the inner booklet is not there, then it's really disappointing. There's Iona Brown playing the violin, of course, and there's very useful notes accompanying. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. There's a date on the back, 1978. So we're looking at a glorious analog Decca recording. Fantastic. What more could you want? So I'm really pleased. So I started off with that for £2, and then I moved on to an Oxfam record tape and CD shop, which I usually do fairly well out of, and I was really disappointed that when I went into this shop I only managed to pick out maybe 6 records out of say 200, and out of those 6 I'm afraid that only 1 was in good condition. Now before I show you that one, I'll tell you that there was a Loiseau Lyre copy of Schroeder on violin, period violin, playing Schubert's sonatinas for violin and piano. Now I found not 1, but I found 2 copies at $5.99 each, and I didn't buy either. The reason being, believe it or not, but the jacket was actually browned along the edge and slightly over, so there was like a centimetre of browning. I don't know how, is it light damage or what, I don't know, but oddly enough this was on both of them. It wasn't really severe, it was actually quite mild, but I'm a real stickler for that kind of thing, and because I thought I'll see that record again one day and it will be in exactly the right condition. Look, if it had been £1 or even 2, I would have bought it, but at £6 I'm probably going to be wanting a really clean jacket. So what did I buy? Just this record. It's Chandos Mahler Symphony No. 4, and it's Alexander Gibson and the incomparable Margaret Marshall soprano, recorded in 1980 in Henry Wood Hall in Glasgow, which is not far from where I live. So I'm really pleased to get that. It's in excellent condition and it only cost me $1.99. There we are. There's the inner sleeve, the gatefold, and there are more pictures. And there's a lovely picture there of Gibson conducting Margaret Marshall. So yep, pleased with that. Right, next I went into another charity shop that has got a special room for records, tapes, CDs, books, Blu-ray, DVDs, videos, that kind of thing. And I normally go in there, I usually got a couple of hundred. I went in and there was nothing. The stand that they usually have those records in was completely disappeared. So I asked one of the staff, do you not do records anymore? Expecting the answer, yeah, we don't do them anymore. But no, he said to me, there they are over there. He showed me where they were. They just moved them, but they've been relegated to just a long brown box. So okay, fine. I wasn't expecting to find much because I could see lots of easy listening, you know, at the front even before I started looking through. But I was really, really surprised. So here's what I found. So these are just £1 each. This is on Archive Privilege label, Vivaldi, 6 concertos from L'Estro Armonico, and it's Rudolf Baumgartner conducting the Lucerne Festival Strings, and the soloist on quite a few of these is Walter Pristowski. So I'm not familiar with that artist. I think it sounds Polish, but I think that should be pretty good to listen to. There we are, there's the Archive label. So everything's fine with that one. Of course, I've checked the condition on all these and they're all in excellent condition. Okay, next one. It's been a while since I bought a 1950s record, or sort of early 60s record maybe, but there we are, 33CX 1725. It's love duets with Callas and Di Stefano. We've got from Tosca, Cavalleria Rusticana and La Bohème. And we've also got the all-important lyrics. And what colour do you think the label is? Because every time I find this record, it's usually a red label, which is okay actually for listening because it's usually in better condition than the blue label. But no, this one is actually the blue label. So yeah, I'm pleased with that as well. Okay, next one, Vivaldi, 5 flute concertos on Sequenza. And it's I Musici. And on flute is Severino Gazzelloni. That pronunciation is correct. And we've got 5 flute concertos. So yeah, pleased with that. It's a Dutch pressing, of course. Philips, I believe that it was, is that digital? I don't think it's digital because it would say digital, wouldn't it? So what's the date on it? 1974, yep. So that's another analog record. And finally from that shop I found this, BIS. And it's the Romantic Flute, Schubert, Introduction and Variations. And we've got Mozart, no, not Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. We've got his son, Franz Xaver Mozart. Yeah, I don't know if you realise this, but Mozart's son or sons, I think, became composers and performers. And I've never heard anything from either of them. And so this will be really good. So we've got like a sort of flute rondo for the Mozart. And we've got Reinecke Sonata. So that's really interesting. That, of course, is a gatefold. There we are. It's got a nice picture on the back showing Robert Aitken on flute and Robin McCabe, who I presume is the lady. Robin McCabe on piano and Robert Aitken on flute. Finally, last shop I went into didn't look very promising, and then I suddenly found this. William Cornish, Stabat Mater. It's a piece from the era of Henry VIII. I'm looking forward to that. The Tallis Scholars, no instruments, directed by Peter Phillips. So yeah, he died 1523, and yeah, so purely choral piece. It's got all the lyrics and everything there. So yep. On the label Gimmel, and I don't really know that label terribly well. I mean, I'll just show you the label. There we are. Okay, there we are. Well, that's it really. And then there's one other record which I haven't got, even though I saw it yesterday in the charity shop before I got on the bus. I found a record in a charity shop here where I live, and I put it back. I put it somewhere safe. It's Saga. It's Salvatore Accardo playing Lalo's superb Sinfonia Spagnola and some solo pieces. So I've hidden that one. I didn't want to carry it with me all the way to this place I went to, so I decided to hide it. I'll go back in tomorrow and hope it's still there. Okay, well, thank you very much for watching. I've recorded this on my digital camera actually, just to see what the quality's like, and maybe you'll give me some feedback. Okay, thanks for watching, and bye for now.